On this episode of Life After High School, I want to dive. I don't want to go too deep, right? I want to stay. I want to give y'all some walkaways, some takeaways, though, right? Okay. So today we are going to talk about how do we start to dominate now as high school students, right? Where does this thing start? All right. And I want to be clear on this. High school is where the identity actually begins. Okay. I want you to think about that, right? As a parent or educator of the time you was in high school, right? And what that looked like for you. Because high school is where identity begins to form, right? If students don't learn how to own that space now, they're going to carry self-doubt through college, career, and relationships that they have. So if you know that to be the case, why would you not make sure that you put a lot of attention on the identity of a student, right? You help the student to identify their identity because this is one of the things, man, they really have a hard time with their identity, who they are. So they graduate, right? They got all A's, but they also got anxiety. You know what I mean? They got all A's, but they also got a lot of fear of what's going on in the real world. So I want to do this, man. I'm real big on questions, and the reason I ask questions is because I got a strong sales background. And what I understand is if we ask ourselves the right question, right? Just like being in a room, if we ask the room the right question, the answers that we get are way better, right? It's closer to what we actually need. So the tighter we become in our questions, the better responses we get. So why would we not start asking ourselves questions now instead of making statements to ourselves like, um, I can't do this. I'm not sure if this is for me, right? This isn't for me. We're making all these statements instead of asking ourselves questions. It's not about, is this for me? But is there something in this that I can get that would help me? Right? Now I'm looking at it differently and it's like, whoa, okay, well, I don't need all of that. But that one piece right there, man, that would do so much for me. This is why I'm always asking a question because I believe that most of us, if we don't know the answer, we have a strong idea on what the answer is. The problem is we're talking to ourselves too much, right? So we have the identity that we're creating as we go through high school is we hear people talk to us, we hear people tell us about us, tell us what we should be doing, how we should be doing it, how we are, what we can do, what we can't do, right? And because we already have self-doubt, we already have self-doubt. We're walking around here with self-doubt. So when they start to tell you these things, you're like, oh, they see it too. You know what I mean? And you start to believe it. So when I'm saying that in high school is where your identity begins to form, it's because it's true. The influence that people have on you. This might not be your way of life, but this is the in crowd. And if you get into this in crowd, you feel protected. You feel safe, right? You feel like all you have to do is become this one to stay in this crowd and you'll be okay because of the environment that you're in. So when I'm saying to you that high school is where your identity begins to form, that's true. There's things you do right now that you started doing in high school and you continue to do. So if you learn to own your space that you're in right now, right? If you learn to own it, you can now move into any environment, take that same format, and you can own that. But if you don't own your space now, you're going to carry self-doubt with you as you go to college, as you build your career, as you get into relationships. Self-doubt is going to be a part of you, right? Everywhere you go. So I want you to do this. I want you to ask yourself this simple question, okay? How could you become a better you? So ask yourself, right? Like, yo, how could I become a better I? A better me, right? How could I become a better I? How could I become a better me? Like, ask yourself that question. Like, get in the mirror and talk to you, right? Have that conversation between you and you. Yo, how could I become a better me today? What could I do to become a better me? And all you're thinking about is becoming better than you was yesterday. I guarantee you, if every day you wake up and that's on your mind, that's the first question you're asking yourself. How could I become a better me today? Before you go to sleep, how could I become a better me tomorrow? What could I take away from today to bring into tomorrow to make me a better me? When you start to look at it like that, you will start to, like, your mind will automatically start to highlight things like, oh, you did that. That wasn't good. If you do it this way, yo, let me try that. Now you're trying things, right, to help you to become a better you. So I want you to write that question down because you should ask yourself this question every day, right? How could I become a better me? How could that happen? Well, number one, right? You could take time to learn who you are. Take time to learn you, right? Who you are and what you want. If you take time every day to identify who you are, what you want, and how you learn, life will start to get different for you. Why? Because every time there's a decision that comes up, you get to say, what do I want? Okay, I want this. If I do that, does it get me closer? Yes or no? No, maybe. No, I don't know. Yes or no? No, it doesn't. I'm not doing it, right? If I watch this, does it get me closer to what I want? No, not doing it. If I listen to this, does it get me closer to what I want? Yes, I'm in, right? It's that simple. But you got to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, that means everything that sounds good will be attractive. Everything that looks good will be attractive. And we all know everything that looks good, everything that sounds good, everything that smells good, it's not really what you want, okay? But you don't figure it out until you actually get it. But if you start to say to yourself, you start to ask yourself, okay, how do I learn? What do I want? Who am I? Right? You start to ask yourself these questions, life gets different. Okay? I want you to retarget your discipline. When you get to that point and you say, how could I become a better me? Retarget your discipline. Retarget how you act, what it is that you do, what you watch, what you listen to. And the reason why I say retarget your discipline and not become more disciplined, you're already disciplined. You're disciplined in wasting time. You're disciplined in hanging with people that have no nutritional value. You're disciplined in making statements to yourself that all they do is destroy your dreams, destroy your visions. They give you more insecurities, right? So I want you to retarget your discipline. If you spend an hour a day watching TV, and listen, most people are spending more than an hour, right? Watching TV, watching YouTube videos, scrolling social media, you're spending more than an hour. But for easy math, let's say you're wasting an hour a day just like that. What happens if you take that 1 hour, instead of being disciplined to watch your favorite TV show, you're disciplined to study your craft, to study what it is you believe you want to do with your life? What happens? What would your life look like if that happens, right? There's a show I like watching, Raising Kanan, right? The shows 50 got out. I like watching them shows. I know when they come out. But watch this. Between every episode, there's certain things I have to get done in order to be able to sit down and enjoy an episode. No excuses. I cannot watch the episode Friday if I haven't gotten everything done between Saturday and Thursday. I can't watch it. Mandatory. There's 10 episodes in every season. When every season starts, I dedicate a task, a mission that I have to get done by the time the 10th episode airs. So that gives me 10 weeks, and really 11 because they usually skip a week, right? So it gives me 10 to 11 weeks to achieve this mission. So if I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch this episode, I'm going to watch this series, right? I'm going to watch this series. And now I know there's 11 weeks, 10 to 11 weeks. Okay, cool. Pierre, what are you going to get done? What are you going to get done by the last episode? What will you have completed? And then I'm going to set the benchmarks. Yep, by episode 1, I'm going to have this. Episode 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to break this thing down into 11 steps. By the time I'm done watching the whole series, I completed the mission. You see what I mean? So listen, the way you get stuff done don't mean it got to be the way somebody else gets it done. You do it your way. Ain't nothing wrong with your way if it works. If your way gets you to success, why would you stop it? Why would you let somebody intervene with what you're doing if it works? So if that means, I know 50 got what, 4 shows, right? 3? I think 3. I think it's 3 now, right? So you got 3. I know, I don't even remember all the names. When they come out, I know what my target is. In between each one of them coming out, I know what else I need to get done. I know how I work. How do you work? Right? So I'm retargeting my discipline. I promise you, when you retarget your discipline, right? Not get disciplined, because you're already disciplined. You're disciplined to waste time. You're disciplined to do the things that don't give you any nutritional value. You're already disciplined. So I need you to retarget the discipline so that you can get the results you desire. Okay? Next thing I want you to do is I want you to reset your boundaries, not just for the people around you, but for yourself as well. That means, right? Think about this. Whatever sport you like, whatever sport you watch from time to time, every sport has boundaries. There's a penalty every time you go outside them boundaries. There's a penalty every time you don't respect them boundaries, right? When you look at it, you look at basketball, when you're inside the paint, you got 3 seconds, right? If you're in the paint longer than 3 seconds just standing there, it's a violation, right? There's a shot clock. It's a boundary. If you go past that shot clock, it goes off. It's a turnover. Same thing in football, right? So if you look at it and you say, okay, man, everything got boundaries. Why am I living my life without boundaries? Why am I living my life without penalties? The penalties keep the game even, right? You got to play within the rules. So you have to reset your boundaries, not just for the people, but you. When people start to see you respect your own boundaries, like, yo, you don't even do that for you. Hey, no matter what happens, you get up, you go to the gym. No matter how you feel, you don't feel good, you're still at the gym. The workout might not be the same, but you're at the gym. You're giving 100% of who you are in the current moment, right? You're giving 100% of who you are in this state. That's it. So you have to make sure your boundaries are set solid and you follow them. Not just want everybody else to follow them, you got to follow them too, all right? I want you to ask yourself this next question, okay? Do I truly want what I say I want? Do I truly want what I say I want? That's a yes or no question. It's either you want it or you don't. If you want it, I want you to ask yourself, why do I want it, right? Why do I want it? Who would benefit? You know what I'm saying? Who would benefit? If I go ahead and I do everything that I need to do for this to happen, who would benefit? You. If you're the type of person where you is enough and that keeps you moving, cool. For me, it's not it. I got to look and I'm going to be like, yo, my kids are going to benefit. My wife's going to benefit, right? Cool. Now, my next thing is, how is my son going to benefit? How is my daughter going to benefit? How is my wife going to benefit? I want to know. Because when I don't feel like doing it, I'm remembering, man, if I get this, once I get this done, not if, right? Once I get this done, my son gets this, my daughter gets this, my wife gets this. Cool. I know, right? Now I want to go one step further. How will they lose if I don't do it? If I don't set these boundaries, if I don't learn everything about me, right? Think about that. That's what I'm thinking about. How will they lose? Right? So when I'm saying, do you truly want what you say you want? Why do you want it? Write that down. I want you to write that down, right? Why do you want it? Sometimes, man, we listen to stuff and it sounds good in the moment. And then when we go back and try to think about what we heard, we don't remember. This is why you got to write it down, okay? Why do you want it? Write that down. Why do you want it? Knowing what you want is not good enough. Why? Okay? Who will benefit and how will they benefit? This keeps you from being lazy. This keeps you from saying, I'll do it later. They're not going to benefit if I do it later, okay? So who would benefit and how would they benefit? And then write down who will lose and how will they lose. Who would lose and how will they lose? Now watch this. This is the ill pop. When I'm saying, why do you want it? You know what that's connected to? Helps you to be intentional. Know why you want it. Be intentional. When you can be intentional about your intentions, you have a better shot of achieving, right? You have a better shot of achieving. When I'm saying who would benefit, how would they benefit? That's because I need you to understand it's bigger than you. This ain't just about you. When I go somewhere and I speak and I get on stage and after that kids come up to me and they're like, yo, you know what? I no longer want to remove myself from this world. I want to be here now. I'm so glad I heard you today. I want to be here now. So me holding in my story because of I'm ashamed of certain things or I feel like it makes me feel less than, yo, shame on me. I didn't go through what I went through just for me. I went through what I went through because, yo, it's bigger than me. Okay? I understand that. And then when I'm asking myself and I'm like, yo, how will they lose? How will they lose? And if I still don't move in a manner that will help them to win, then I got to question, do I really care? Do I really care? Listen, and if I don't care, I need to change the thing I'm attaching myself to, the thing I'm attaching my vision to, my dream. I need to change it because you're not enough for me, right? I'm not pushing enough because I don't feel like you're enough. So I can't use you. So if I can't use me, I can't use you. What can I use? I'm on a mission to find what it is I will give my all to. You see what I mean? So when you start asking yourself questions, you now are in discovery. You're in the hunt for the answers. But if you're just making statement, you're never looking for the answers because you're focused on the statement that you made to yourself. Man, I can't do this. And this ain't for nobody like me. Instead of, yo, what part of this can I use? Even if you say, yo, is this for people like me? Let me look. Let me find somebody who's like me, that comes from where I come from, lived the way I lived. And let me see if they're in this space. And if they are, oh my God, yep, it is for me. That's why we put everything in the questions, okay? It's bigger than you. It's about the mission. It's all about the mission, okay? Number 3, I want you to ask yourself this. Number 3, what are your top 3 weaknesses? What are your top 3 weaknesses? Right? And you should know this easily. You know why? Because most people know what their weaknesses are. Because that's what they focus on the most, and that's what they try to hide. The weaknesses. They don't use the weakness as, there's power in my weaknesses. My weaknesses are strong, right? I can maximize my weaknesses. There's a way to benefit my weaknesses. So I'm asking what are your top 3 weaknesses? Why? So you can be aware. It's not to shame you. It's not to create more doubt in you. It's so you can be aware, so you can learn how to use them. Okay? So when I'm saying your top 3 weaknesses, I want you to ask yourself, how can I use them to my advantage? How could I use my weaknesses to my advantage? How? One way is once you know them and you put yourself in a room of people whose strengths are your weaknesses, right? And you put yourself in that space. The way you can use that weakness is people that are, not all, but some, that are extremely successful and love what they do. When they see somebody really, really giving it their all, really, really trying to win in a space, but they're weak in this area, but they see the effort, they see you really want this, they'll extend their hand and help, right? But if you're in an environment where no one can help your weakness, they'll laugh at it. They'll make jokes about it. They'll make you feel worse about it, right? Cool. How can you improve them? Once you know what they are, how can you improve them? We talked about being in the room, right? In the right room. But I want you to start asking yourself, okay, yep, these are my weaknesses. How can I improve one? What's one that I can improve and how can I improve it? Okay? And I want you to ask yourself, what are my weaknesses costing me today? Because we have to build urgency. We have to have a reason to pay attention to our weaknesses. So when you stop looking at the weakness as just a weakness, right? And something you're trying to avoid, start asking yourself, what are my weaknesses costing me? I'm an introvert, so I don't like going into the rooms and walking up to people and just starting conversation, right? That's not who I am. So I know that's a weakness. So because I say I know it's a weakness, I ask myself, how could I improve them? How can I improve this weakness? I'm an introvert. I don't like to go and just walk up to people and start having conversations. I started to figure out when I'm saying, how could I improve them? I said, you got to become more attractive. So people will come to you and ask you hey, I overheard you. Hey, someone told me. Hey, how you doing, man? Tell me what you do. I learned how to become attractive, right? So one thing that I do when I'm in a room full of people and I'm talking with someone, my voice carries. And I'm not intentionally yelling across the room so everybody can hear me, right? That's not the thing. But I'm talking loud so that people can ear hustle. I'm making it easy for people to ear hustle. And when I'm talking about what it is that I do, why I do what I do, the problems that I solve, right? People get to overhear and they say, hey, I overheard you saying, hey, I hope you don't mind. I was airdropping a little bit. I was ear hustling. I hope you don't mind. But when you said, oh, no problem at all. Why? That's part of what I do, right? So then what I started to do when I heard other people talking, That's my way to come in because you're already on my topic. You're already in my space. You're already talking about something that has a gap that I know I can fill. So now I'm no longer in my weakness because I'm able to talk in my strength. I heard you, heard what you said. I'm like, hey, I hope you don't mind. I'm taking the line people say to me, right? Hey, I'm hoping you don't mind, but I was ear hustling a little bit and I heard you say, oh, no, not at all. Like, please give me your input. It gives me the opportunity to show up and start the conversation off in my space, right? So that's what I'm saying. When you know your weaknesses, it's powerful, right? So when you know, right, how you can use them to your advantage, that means you know them. And if I know them, I can become more strategic with them, okay? And once I know them, I now can put myself in an environment where I can share them. And you'll be surprised at how many people will say, oh my God, I was just like that too. Oh my God, that's just how I am now. And now you start to create a bond on common ground. So now that person's comfortable talking to you, you're comfortable talking to that person, okay? So you know them, you share them because you understand them, okay? So know them, share them, understand them. Do you know how powerful that becomes? Because when you know them, you share them, you understand them, you can embrace them. Yo, I'm telling you, listen, don't run from your weaknesses, all right? I want you to embrace your weaknesses. Last question. What are your top 3 strengths? I'm going to bring this together in a second with your strengths and your weaknesses, right? Because I want to give you a process to create a phenomenal ecosystem. I'm talking about the ecosystem where it's like, yo, it's thriving. It's producing on its own. I don't have to look for this. I don't have to look for that. Like, it's right here. I don't have to search for all these answers. I pick up the phone and I make a quick call. Boom, I got it. Somebody at my table, they need something, pick up the phone. Boom, they got it, right? So write down, what are your top 3 strengths? What are they? Okay. Then how can you use them? How can you use them to your advantage? How can you use your top 3 strengths to your advantage? Okay. Then the next question is, how can you improve them? How can you improve your top 3 strengths? So you recognize them, you wrote them down. What are your top 3 strengths? You're figuring out how can you use them to your advantage, right? And then how can you improve them? So if I know how to use them and I'm focusing on, okay, I know how to use them now. How do I improve them, right? I'm walking you through the steps. Now it's like, yo, what are they earning me every day? So if I know every day my strength's earning me $100, that's $3,000 a month, right? And now I'm saying, okay, great. How can I use it to my advantage? Watch this. Let's run through this process real quick. How can I use them to my advantage, right? How can I improve them? And what are they earning me every day? If I'm running through this process, I will constantly increase the earnings. Why? Because when I know them, I can share them, I understand them, I can embrace them, okay? It's that simple, but you got to write them down. Now let me give you the formula, right? I want to give you this formula before we get out of here. This is the formula, okay? This is the formula. Do you want the formula to how to use your strengths and weaknesses? Let me give it to you, all right? Let me make this thing so easy for you. All I want you to do is I want you to create a table, right? So make a circle on your piece of paper. In front of each one of the chairs, I want you to make 3 chairs, okay? In front of each chair, I want you to put a strength. Matter of fact, let's do this. Let's change it real quick. I want you to make a triangle, right? Make a triangle. Why? Because it's the strongest shape, right? And this table is going to be so solid. I want you to make a triangle. In the center of that triangle, I want you to put your weaknesses, right? Put your 3 weaknesses. At each side of this triangle, your table, I want you to put a chair. In front of each chair, I want you to write your strength. Put your strength down. Now, the first thing you do is you go through your phone, you go through your Rolodex, right? And I want you to see how many people that are in your phone could benefit from your strengths, okay? When you sit them down, when you write their name in on one of them chairs, can one of their strengths bless your weakness? If it can't, they can't stay there. It's that simple, right? If one of their strengths cannot bless your weakness, remove them. Once you go through your whole phone like that, first, we're serving first. So can my strength benefit you? Yep, cool. I'm going to write your name. Can your strength benefit one of my weaknesses? Yes or no? No. I got to remove you. Back through the phone, right? Can your strength bless one of my weaknesses? No, right? Boom, I'm removing you. And I'm going to keep going through everybody at this triangle table, right? That I made, and on each side there's a C, and I'm going through my Rolodex because I want to see, do I have somebody in my phone? Is there anybody that I talk to that can take advantage of my strength and help me with one of my weaknesses? If not, I'm removing you, right? And then I'm gonna go one step further, and I'm gonna be like, yo, why do we even talk? Like, why we talk? Like, yeah, I got love for you, my people. But why we talk all the time? I can't talk to you right now. I'm on this mission. I'm not just going to high school to be going to high school. I'm going to high school so that when I get out, I can live my desired results, not just have results. All right? So I'm going through this table. And what you realize is that you have people in your phone that add no nutritional value to your life. You got people you talk to on a regular basis add no nutritional value to your life. They just there. You're comfortable having them around for whatever reason. But I want you to build your table as an ecosystem. That means if you can sit down at my triangle table where I only got 3 chairs, one for each side, and you could take advantage of my strength, but you can't bless a weakness. I don't need you in my life for this season. Because what I'm looking to achieve, you can't take part in. You can't help, not a little bit. I don't need distractions. I need power. I need influence. I need energy. I need knowledge. I need drive. And I'm not saying for you to give this to me, but what I'm saying is if I already have this and you're draining my power, my influence, my drive, my energy, if you're draining me, what's the purpose of you? Nothing. Because if I allow you to drain me, that's me allowing me to drain myself because I brought you into my life and I kept you there. It's not how this works. So as you go through and you identify your 3 strengths, your 3 weaknesses, and you build this triangle table and you put your weaknesses in the middle of this table, right? And with your weakness in the middle of this table, now not only do you have your weaknesses in the middle of the table, you have your strengths around this table and you build it. And this table is for one reason, to be a table of influence. That's all. It's to be a table of a strong ecosystem. That means anybody in that circle, when you call them, they pick up the phone for you. Why? Because they know you're not a pest. They know you're not draining them. They know that you're either calling to add value or you're calling because you need help and they're willing to help you because you're a strong resource for them. That's it. That's it. That's all. But if you're the only one, right? If you're the only one in your circle that everybody's calling for all the questions, who's pouring into you? You know how draining, how depressing, how frustrating that becomes? Everybody got somebody to call for help but you. Everybody got a lifeline but you. You're going to build a community of people that are looking to grow, that are having the conversations you need. Not the yes man conversations, not stroking your ego conversations, but the conversations that push you beyond your current self, that make your strength stronger, that make your weaknesses stronger. That's a blessing. I used to run from them relationships because they was uncomfortable. People ask me questions, I can't answer the question. I don't know the answer. I don't know. And I don't want to be around you no more because every time I'm around you, you're asking me answers of stuff I don't know. Like, no, right? Or I got people calling me, asking me questions, and they want us to figure it out together. Like, bro, I don't even do that. It's not even my strength. I'm not even in that space. Now we're trying to figure it out together. You just took so much time away from me, but I can't call you for nothing. It's one-sided. You start having resentment towards the people around you, right? You get off the phone and you find you're in a bad mood. Like, yo, man, why they always do this? Why they call me for this? Why they got to do it? Yo, you done took 10 minutes on the phone and now an hour later, you're still thinking about the conversation you had. And I don't have people say to me like, well, just don't think about it. It's not how my mind works. I'm around people that I really care about. So if I care about you so much, but all you bring is aggravation and frustration to me, right? I got to let you go. Got to let you go. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It just means I really, really love me. You know what I mean? I love you, but I'm in love with me. 2 different things. So as you go into this new school year, I want you to bring a new you. As you go into this new school year, I want you to create a new environment. So you have a new you. You're going to create a new environment. You're going to have new friends. You're going to have new activities. You're going to have a new mindset. Yo, life gets different, okay? So remember, I need you to commit, have the courage to stand by it, learn your capabilities so that you can build the confidence that is necessary for you to not just get results, but get your desired results, all right? I'll see y'all on the next one.